the record button. Excuse me. All right, hitting the record button now. And all right, let's do this thing. Hello, and back with another special edition video. We got two guests going on, today. Obviously, this is very important. Well, shit, probably one of the biggest news, maybe the biggest news out of the entire year.
I don't think
And
nothing.
whatnot. Something else happens, but as of the time, this has to be the biggest news story. Especially today, what we're going to be talking about is Vince McMahon retiring, apparently, from the WWE as the chairman of the board, most likely. And we're going to get into the reasons why we feel this happened. But first off, let my two guests introduce themselves as we're going to be talking about this topic today. Who wants to go first?
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy here, Jorge, man. I wish I was dressed in black because today's a somber day. Uncle Vince retire, and it's a sad day in wrestling, brothers.
Yep. And my name is Kyle, straight face 40. Oh man, yeah, this hit me like a ton of bricks. I ain't gonna even lie. I wasn't expecting this news.
Yeah, it's a lot to say about this, and I'm sure everybody's gonna have a different opinion on this, where this is gonna go or what will be the after effect of all this. Because it looked like we saw some of it. Those rumors were debunked, especially at the end of the show on SmackDown. But looking at this this news story, it is shocking. I would say that. I do feel there's more to the story and everything, because even I'll say this, like, even after SmackDown, when I was watching the news and they talked about Vince stepping down, and I remember them saying like Stephanie and Nick Khan are like the CEOs of the company right now, but Vince McMahon still has a majority of shares within the company, so it's still his company at the end of the day. He still owns this thing. He just can't really control anything, which I'm even gonna say for the time being right now and whatnot, because with him, and I say quote unquote retiring for a reason, it's mostly just due to the allegations and whatnot. And I kind of feel like he did this to kind of ease, maybe the company, because like the board of directors probably would have voted him out, but then again, he has majority of shares, so they said it would have been impossible to do that. Or depending, and I don't know how bad, if there's going to be more stuff coming out of this or not, but I feel like he may have made this decision to, kind of ease, maybe the image of the company, because we've been seeing this within the week. And I'm sure this decision was probably made maybe, earlier in the week and whatnot. But, with Triple H also yesterday being now the head of talent relations again, which, I'm cool with that decision. And even I kind of go back to Titus's promo from last Monday. I felt like that was and we're going to get into that, because I felt like, even though I felt it was kind of odd they kicked it off like that, I feel it was done for a reason, from a PR standpoint. And even, with the rumors of Brock last night, that was, him not even, he just walked out, because it's been said before, Brock would not work for anybody else but Vince McMahon and whatnot. But, like I said, with him stepping down from the company, some would think it wouldn't feel real. And there's going to be a lot of, like, I've seen a lot of different opinions on it. It's going to be many things, reactions from people, or what Tony Khan wanting to say, I guess, try to talk shit on Twitter. It looked like, and I'm trying to put this all together, because I say it's a lot to speak on. But some would say, where does the company going forward, especially now with Stephanie McMahon in charge? Which, in a way, I kind of feel like for the time being, right now, because obviously Vince has to worry about this investigation. I gotta say, this investigation is not over yet, so it's still pending and everything. So I think he's probably worried more on that than running a company. I do feel like this was a strategical move, though, in a way, because with all these and we seen like the positions of power kind of change lately of who is whoever's position or where they are in the company right now. Like I said, with Triple H, he's now the head of talent relations again. So it's obviously changes going on right now. And even which I kind of figured happened, but just for how quick it was, it's like, it didn't feel like a big, retirement celebration. Because let's be honest, if this was Vince McMahon retiring, like, at the end, if he was like really done, I think it probably would have been some big, huge celebration going on with them. And they would have done a lot of things from tributes to video packages showing clips of him throughout the entire night, even him having come out there. The only reason why he's stepping down right now is just due to the allegations, okay? And we saw Steph come out there and say, her dad was retiring, and the fans weren't happy about it. They weren't happy about him retiring, and they all started chanting, "Thank you, Vince," and everything. But just the fact that they only said that one time throughout the night, and we never really heard anything else after that. So it's not like it was like I said, this was a real Vince retirement thing. They would have, gone out with a bang with circumstances right now. Obviously, this is change, and even the rumors of Brock Lesnar, him walking out, but hey, he ended up showing up at the end of the show. But other than I'm just kind of running through a little summary things. So we're gonna get into each part, what I spoke on. But which one of you guys like to go first on the topic? Like your take on it.
Kyle,
who want to go first?
I'll go first. Yeah, Uncle Vince. I agree with you everything that you said. Definitely a strategic move. Definitely because of all the stuff that's going on, and he was becoming a distraction to the company. And best, what best way to end the controversy than stepping down like he did? He retired. We all know the reason why he retired. There's no secret. The reason why he did it. He wanted to take the eyes of himself away from the company that he built. By retiring, he takes his way out of it. He still owns the company. No one can ever take that away from him. He's still the majority owner. He will never sell the company now because it belongs to him. So him retiring, he's out of the way. Now the real truth starts now. Where does the company go now? The company's not going anywhere. WWE is the universe of wrestling. We all know that is not going anywhere. The thing, the one important thing now is, what's the new vision going to be? Is it still going to be that old vision, or are we going to have these new eyes like from Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, more vision of the younger guys taking over for the future? That is going to be the thing now going forward. Because what's the point of him stepping down if the product is going to be the same way it's been for the last 30 years? Doesn't mean anything. So we'll find out. We'll find out after SummerSlam, whatever happens at SummerSlam, whoever wins, that the Monday Night Raw is going to be the new usher to a new beginning under Stephanie McMahon and Triple H vision going forward of how the company is going to move forward. We all know how this rumor started, or this topics that started. They got looking into the company because there was money being embezzled, whatever it was. This is how the whole Vince McMahon fiasco started. And like B Dollar said, if he was under any other terms, they would have had the biggest party ever. Celebrities sending their tweets, thank you Vince videos from everybody, The Rock, John Cena, everybody and their mothers sending videos. But because this was just a thing that he just said to do, I'm getting myself out of here. I'm going to take my eyes off the company. I'm out. So no matter what happens, the company is still Vince McMahon's company. No matter what decision the lawyers find about how much money he spent on the NDAs, the company is still his. That's never going to change. So people need to stop that nonsense. Tony Khan is not going to come over and take over the company. That's never going to happen. This is the reason why he stepped down. He's not going nowhere. The universe is not going anywhere. It's still going to stay in the McMahon's names. He just said, let me get out of here now. That I don't get any pressure from the Peacock or NBC or anybody for me to leave. I won't embarrass my family, embarrass the company anymore. Now me being out, whatever happens now has nothing to do with the company. Now it's on me out of the company now. So he did the right thing. So and I'm going to miss Vince because a lot of shit I didn't like, but a lot of stuff he did, a lot of stuff he invented, a lot of stuff. He invented the pay-per-view back in the early '80s with WrestleMania. He destroyed Starcade WCW when he did that. He invented going to all other countries for tours and stuff like that. Nobody was doing stuff like that until Vince started doing that. He invented a lot of stuff that people are saying, well, what did Vince do on Twitter? He did a lot of stuff. And that stuff is cemented in the legacy going forward. Anything else that comes after now, somebody else invented. But pretty much Vince McMahon invented pretty much everything about wrestling. So I will definitely miss Vince going forward, but it's a new future, and we'll find out after SummerSlam what vision will go forward with Raw, with SmackDown, with NXT 2.0. So, Kyle, my man, what you got, brother?
Man, man. You said a lot, and I agree with every bit of it. Vince McMahon is the real reason why I'm a fan. I'm not going to sit here and just say, I'm a fan of wrestling because of WCW. Man, if it wasn't for Vince McMahon WWF, it probably wouldn't even be a WCW for me. It probably wouldn't even be a wrestling for me because when I was a kid, his vision of the WWF was a lot different from what other people were doing. The Kane character, the Undertaker character, all these characters that came out is what got me when I was a kid. I swear, I told this story to Bryce. Man, I was flipping through the channel, had to be like 99. Flipping through the channels, there was no basketball on. And I just came upon this big red dude coming down to the ring. And I'm over here looking like, whoa, what is this? Who is this big dude? And then I just see him whooping ass. I'm like, man, I gotta watch this every week. And bingo, I was a fan. And it was because of him. And of course, like you said before, there's a lot of stuff that you didn't like. You probably look at me strange, but I told Bryce this before. When I was a shorty, like around like 14, 15, man, I couldn't stand the bro in petty matches, man. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I was one of those niggas like, man, come on, man, get out this bullshit, man. They were looking goofy to me, man. They were looking goofy to me. They weren't looking, sex appeal or anything. They were just looking like goofballs to me out there. Like, come on, man, I don't like this stuff, bro. And I really like women wrestling. That wasn't it. But that's one of the things I didn't like. But a whole bunch of things I did like. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, he sold the idea for ECW with the hardcore. But I think, to be honest, like having one hardcore match or two hardcore matches a night was a lot better than having a whole company provided hardcore matches to you. You know what I'm saying? Variety. Vince have a lot of varieties in his shows, and that's one thing that people did steal. From having a lot of varieties in their shows. Your comedy matches, your real serious technical matches, your high flying matches, your hardcore matches. Vince really paved the way for things like that. People don't understand that. I don't know why they asked that question, bro. Like I agree with you. Why would you even ask that question? What did Vince do? You ain't been watching wrestling there for past 20, 30 years. You must be one of these young kids that just started watching wrestling in 2011 or so. Yeah, you were one of those guys there because you asked that question for real? Come on, man. Let get off that. I really think this, but I will go back for what Bryce was saying earlier. Man, I wish it was a real tribute moment. I really did. I really wish it was a real moment going down what Vince did for the industry. You know what I'm saying? Just not for the company of the WWE, the industry of wrestling, period. What did he do? And I wish it was a real tribute moment, but it was an out of the blue, spur of the moment type of thing because he had to. You know, it was a
Hey,
situation. Hmm?
Hey, Kyle, let me stop you there for a second. You know when the tribute's going to happen for him this time for real? When he dies.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, but man, yeah. And that's the only thing that we're gonna have to, see because I mean, look at as a tribute when he do pass away because this couldn't be it. And I wish it was. You know what I'm saying? I wish this was. Like I wish last night was like one of those type of shows that show Vince McMahon feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, his time behind the commentator table. Man, it's like I wish I could have seen some of those moments, man. But like you said, we probably ain't gonna see that type of tribute until the man passed away. You know, you hate to say things like that, but that's a somber truth. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. You know, but yeah, it's like it's still strange to me. I still woke up thinking like I can't believe Vince McMahon is really retired, and we actually going to see. We possibly going to see. I don't know. I still, man. I still gotta see, but we possibly gonna see a whole different WWE from the top to the bottom.
That is true. Chime in like you guys said, and even if I had every other person on here, they would say the same thing. Because mostly everybody I know or that has ever done this show has mostly started watching the WWF first. I know I did. Hey, I grew up on Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and all of them. But like I said, flipping channels and you see this stuff, it's like, hey, what is this? This looks great. And that's how I started getting wrestling because I grew up in the Attitude Era and whatnot. So yeah, I wouldn't be this, big fan of wrestling. Like I said, went for Vince and watching, the WWF at the time. Don't get me wrong, I still learned other things like, WCW, ECW, and whatnot. But is the WWF I started off with before I knew every other wrestling company that is here today. And like you guys said, this was just a spur of the moment thing. This wasn't really a real tribute and whatnot. This just had to happen just due to the situation. Now I will say some things in regards to this also. One thing to say, like they did what they had to do because, and I was talking to my friend Isaiah about this. They had to put Stephanie or either Shane. It had to be a McMahon that had to be in charge of this whole thing, okay? Because it wasn't gonna work if they did not have another McMahon in charge. Because they left Nick Khan, even Triple H, if he was running the company. He was telling me like a lot of people, like from the business side, like sponsors or other stuff. They, Vince is a ruthless businessman, so they've always worked with him and whatnot. But if it was anybody else, not a McMahon, people probably would have popped out. I'm not saying the company would have folded or anything. Some people would believe that, especially without Vince's leadership, because even some would say like either these people respect Vince that much, or they're that scared that they're not gonna vote him out. Now I do believe, and maybe I'm reaching with this, but I think he is still gonna have some play into this. I think he's just kind of gonna work from undercover, and I mean like remotely from home. Don't think he didn't leave like I don't know, and I'm not I want to say instructions, but he still owns the company at the end of not run shit right now, but I feel like in some way he's just gonna find a way to still be in contact with the company, while he's dealing with this whole, investigation thing right now. Okay, because I'll say this too, and like I said, I may be reaching here, and you disagree if you want, but if he does, beat this whole investigation thing, it would not surprise me if he ends back up on, you know, back in the company again. So hey, I'm just saying. I know you may disagree with me. I can understand that, but
I understand what you said.
I don't. In a way, I know he's like what we see out now, but I feel like he's somewhat behind the scenes in a way at a lot of this stuff, and someone kind of wonder also, you know, in regards to Stephanie running the thing. Here's the thing. I wonder how much power she has, because I'm already seeing people say, well, since Vince is not technically there, can they get rid of people like Kevin Dunn or the Beaver Boy right there, and what's his face, Bruce Pritchard, because they were always in Vince's inner circle. So now a lot of people are figuring like, will they be still within the company and whatnot, since Vince is not there right now. So, it's a lot of questions like, moving forward, how much stuff is really going to keep changing around. We've already seen some things change as it is already. Okay. Triple H is the head of talent relations since they got rid of, Johnny Ace there and whatnot. Because, like a lot of people saying now, with him him being talent relations, so expect a lot of indie guys to be back on the scene now in WWE and whatnot. Because a lot of people were saying that, because before they didn't really want any indie talent, especially once they transitioned to NXT 2.0. So with him kind of, gaining some power back nowadays, he may be able to do that now. Excuse me. May be able to do that now, as in bring back independent talent and whatnot.
Yeah, I want to.
Because like I said,
My bad.
it's gonna happen. Creative, I don't know. Like I said, creative. We don't know who's gonna be running creative right now. Shit, I'm already seeing people online saying they need to hire Russo back into play. I'm saying like I don't know about that. Like they had Russo before, but they had Vince McMahon filtering all his ideas at the same time too. Vince ain't there, so you got to look at that also. And one other thing I'll add on to this, and I'll give the floor to one of you guys. Brock Lesnar, when we heard about the so-called of him walking out of the company last night, because he was advertised for SmackDown, but then he wasn't on SmackDown. We didn't see him to the end of the show. But a lot of people say he walked out because, it's been said before, if Vince ain't there, he ain't going to work for him. And, so a lot would say that's unprofessional and whatnot. But, Brock's only going to deal with Vince because he's worked with Vince. That's the only really person he's going to deal with and whatnot. And I'm sure maybe they had to negotiate something with Brock to be on tonight, or just the journalists got their stuff wrong that we're all reporting this, because it's going to be like, okay, we're going to give you, add 3 more zeros to his check. No, 6 more zeros to his check. We need you, Brock, okay? We need you, because if Brock was not going to be there, even I saw people wondering who the fuck was going to be the main event of SummerSlam then, and if, at the time, if he had walked out, people would have followed, due to, I don't know, I would say being loyal to Vince maybe and whatnot. With him being gone, would they have followed along? Because it's like, I'm like, oh, if Vince is not in charge and Stephanie is now in charge, how many people would have stuck on the boat for that right now? Because with that happening, shit, I'm already seeing people said, hey, if the Triple H is here, maybe they can get Sasha back, maybe they can get Bray Wyatt back. I'm already seeing a lot of that. So, just some other things to add. So, what do y'all think about that? Who want to go first?
Well, I'll go first. Yeah. I wanted to talk about what you were talking about with Triple H being the talent relations. And so, man, boy, that would be a breath of fresh air. I would love that, to be honest with you, because you just don't know. I know his. You got to handle his eye for talent when you were watching the Black and Gold NXT. You already can see where he wanted to go to. He wanted to basically make NXT the indie product with a big budget. You know what I'm saying? And basically, he did. He scooped up every indie star that you could name. Adam Cole, Ricochet. You know what I'm saying? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. All these guys came for the independents. But at the same time, though, with the Kevin Dunn, I wouldn't even get rid of Kevin Dunn. He really not a real big letdown. You know what I'm saying? He's somebody that you could basically adore. He just behind the scene. He really don't have that much power. He can't really change things. So Kevin Dunn being there, at least you got somebody who still know what they doing behind the camera, and you know how to he know how to present the product. So I wouldn't even think deal with Kevin Dunn. Bruce Prichard, on the other hand, though, I don't think Bruce Prichard any good. Anything he do, to be honest with you, like I
Be
heard
Vince's main ass kisser.
I heard he came up with the cane gimmick. That's what I heard. But if you ask me that's the only thing that he did that was significant. To be perfectly honest, like he makes storylines that he know Vince will like. You know, I can get rid of that. I could go get another. I could get another wrestling man to to change, to change his position, to change him out of that position. Because I really don't see what he there for other than, like Bryce just said, to kiss Vince McMahon butt. Like, Vince ain't there no more. Who you gonna start kissing? Stephanie and Nick Khan now, But I can't wait. This is like, remember what we were talking about last night, right? I can't wait to see what this new product is gonna be. Real talk. I really can't. Man, I really trust Triple H's mind when it comes down to wrestling, because he just knows the business. So I just really trust that. I trust his talent, talent recruitment. He could go out there and recruit some of the best in the indie product. I saw you shaking your head no when you heard indie.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I would still get the indie guys and still get the young guys who were coming out college basketball, college football, young athletic guys and stuff. I still go get those guys. And I still have them, still be in between still get a date. I mean, still what I want to say here. Still get a day knowledge from the indie guys. You can wrestle with the indie guys, get some get some ring, get some my bad, get some ring knowledge, know what to do with the wrestling company. I mean, wrestling industry. You can have those guys still learn from the indie guys. You don't have to necessarily push the indie guys unless you really want. If it's somebody who really good, you don't have to necessarily push them, but have them there to teach the younger guys who coming in who don't know anything about the wrestling business, because they get a lot of guys who don't know nothing about the wrestling business. That's all the NXT 2.0. So I still get the indie guys. I still need those for the NXT. But hey, what else I can say about this? Stephanie, I don't know. I wish Shane didn't do what he did in January, because I think he would have been it. But now we got Steph. I don't know what to say about it. Other than her with the women division, I don't know what to say. So I'll pass the floor to you.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, what Bryce heard earlier about McMahon maybe coming back if he beats the case or whatever. He's not coming back. I mean, once you retire, you retire. He has nothing to do with the company. That's official. Once you retire, I'm pretty sure he has to sign some paperwork. He has to sit down with the board and let them know exactly and assure them that he has no um really what's the word, like you said, really have really be really retired, and he has gonna have no say whatsoever into anything. So before he retired, he had to sit with the board of directors, which is a lot of people, and they have to go over what he said. So I'm pretty sure that me having no touch in the business anymore was brought up. He signed paperwork, so everybody's under the impression that he's retired and nothing else he's gonna do with wrestling ever again unless something drastic happens. So I don't see him coming back. I don't see him coming back ever again. I agree with you about Sasha Banks. Naomi can definitely now come back. We could see them come back in SummerSlam and screw up one of those title matches and get themselves back into the fold. So I could see that happen. The indie stuff, I do not see that happening ever again. I mean, all the indie guys or people that we knew that were good have been picked up by AEW. So there's not that many, unless you start like thumb coming to different companies to find indies. But I don't see NXT 2.0 being changed because that is what it's for. It's like a AAA basis. Bring the athletes, teach them the ropes, and like Kyle said, it's an indie with a humongous budget. So, and that's what NXT 2.0 is for them to build themselves, build their character, and what they feel is ready, they'll get pushed up to the main roster. So, if there's anybody that's available, name wise out there in the indies, they might go up right to SmackDown or Raw. I don't think they'll mess with NXT 2.0 that much with what they started now with the vision of how it is now. So I don't see that changing too much, but definitely Sasha Banks and Naomi, I could definitely see them come back now more than ever. Now that Vince McMahon is gone, so. And I wouldn't be surprised if they show up at SummerSlam.
Hey, man, I wouldn't even be surprised either.
Yeah, that's a possibility if they do come back though and whatnot. Like I said, if he's not there right now, they probably just have back. Or there's a lot probably could bring back if they wanted to. Some would say Bray Wyatt, and many other people. Like so, I'm not sure, but possibly. With him not having any power, it basically goes to the next person, everything. And also to add, you talk about the whole Brock thing, and everybody, you saw these dirt sheets that were saying like, yo, Brock's not gonna be there. A lot of people were thinking Goldberg was gonna be the next one to face Roman at SummerSlam. I saw everybody say Goldberg yesterday because
Wow.
Brock allegedly walked out because hey, Vince ain't there, so like why the fuck am I here and everything. But he ended up showing up at the end of the show. So
I want to say something to that too. I want to add something to that. We're gonna see a lot less of that, of that BS for real. A lot less of that Goldberg showing up, going for a title shot. We're gonna see a lot less of Brock Lesnar. Period. Brock said he ain't working for nobody else other than Vince. But even if he was still around, let's just say hypothetically, he's still around. It's going to be a lot less of that him coming in and challenging for the title shot too, because all of that stuff with Vince, all of that stuff with Vince, we can all agree on that. Look, I don't think Triple H or Stephanie will be thinking, oh, that just throw in Goldberg in front of Drew McIntyre, or that back when that happened. Like, no, I don't think that would have happened, bro. I don't think that's going to happen for a very, very long time. That the not retired part timers, other than John Cena, probably John, yeah, but other than all these part timers coming in, trying to come in and going for the title and stuff, all that done. That's done. We can just bury that.
yeah,
We can say that's done.
I'd be surprised if that was still happening. I would be surprised because I feel like
too.
Because I feel like somebody is gonna in the company like, well, no, we need Goldberg, or someone is gonna say that. I'm not sure if creative would say that or not, because with creative, I thought it was funny when I was reading one thing one day about, even they said Vince yelling at creative. I mean, it was over a cage match, and he says like, stop trying to impress Dave Meltzer, okay? Just make a fucking cage match. Don't, why are you trying to impress him for? Like, I'm like, you gotta have a point though. It's like why
he got a point with that.
Why the fuck are they listening to Dave Meltzer of all people? Like,
Right.
we need 20-star matches. And whatnot.
Here's the thing. other thing that people like probably do know about Vince, but don't know at the same time is Vince's mind was mostly entertainment. A mindset. And his mindset wasn't with the wrestling industry. If you can really look and see what he was doing, he was trying to take wrestling words out. He did it. He took wrestling. He was trying to take wrestler out. Like, come on now. We can think about the words that he was trying to take out. Belt. You can't say belt. Like, oh, belt is something that you use for your pants. What? What? You can't say that. But with Triple H, it's a different mindset. His is a wrestling industry mindset. So it's going to be a lot. The match is going to be a lot different. I can tell you that right now. And probably by the end of the year, you will probably be thinking into yourself like, this product don't look like January product at all, because the wrestling matches is not going to look like an entertainment type of match. It's only a match that's there to entertain you. I mean, not you try. My bad. Of course, they're gonna entertain you, but it's not there to entertain you like you watching a TV show. You know, it's like you watching a TV show sometimes when you watch it Raw. You know, a lot of drama, a lot of stuff that don't have nothing to do with wrestling half of the time. But at the same time, I really think I really think that the wrestling industry is going. I mean, WWE is going to evolve into more. I wouldn't say. I'm not going to say AEW. I'm not going to say AEW, but it's going to be more of a wrestling based company than an entertainment based company.
Yeah.
Uh,
And, you
like,
know, yeah, and you do have a point, especially now. How much is really going to change now from here on at this point? Will the company look different and everything? You know, especially I'm sure like a lot of things have changed and whatnot. I heard Bruce is still booking, you know, still a top person booking the shows though. So, you know, that was one of Vince's that's one of Vince's guys right there. So how much is he really gonna change up, or will, you know, it'll still look the same, especially with this whole, you know, TV 14 thing that's supposedly coming soon and whatnot. How much change is that gonna be? Because, you know, we spoken on this before and whatnot. Unless, you know, creative doesn't change, or like, you know, we get interest in people, is TV 14 gonna make it better? Like we said, you know, you'll get some blood, some more curse words, maybe show a little more ass here and there. And they kind of already slowly done that with the other NXT, you know, the 2.0 one right now. But, you know, we spoke on this before. You spoke at the beginning of this, Kyle. You know, like, they'll tell people that, you know, you're not getting the bra and panties matches back because they feel like, you know, the Attitude Era could come back. Like, it's not gonna work, okay? Like, a lot of those ideas are not gonna work.
I also said too, you want the Attitude Era back? Go give me a Rocket Austin. Hey, we can talk then. If we get those two guys back, we get the Attitude Era back. So we can cut it out.
Get 7 million views back. Get the fans damn near popping for everything. Like, you know, every week almost, or every person that came out and they got big pops and whatnot. Like, you don't get that a lot of days and whatnot. Some people, but not like on an every week basis type of thing. And like I said, even if the Attitude Era did come back, like I said, the world is too different nowadays and whatnot. Things have changed. And then especially nowadays, everything is damn near PC culture, or, you know, some would say, what's another word? I see this on the internet a lot. People say too many SJWs and they will complain. Even if it wasn't the most offensive thing, it'd be the most minuscule thing they complain about and whatnot. Because, and I'll say this too, and ask you guys this, kind of regarding to that, Titus O'Neil's promo and everything, like, what did y'all think about it? Because a lot of people say either Vince or Stephanie wrote that on Monday. Because I'm like, that was very an interesting promo he did to kick off the show. I know he's from Tampa, and, you know, that's his hometown and everything. But just like kind of look at the verbiage he was out there saying and whatnot. Some people would say Vince probably would have said this himself if, you know, he didn't have this shit going on. Because we've already seen him on TV, and, you know, do the whole just showing up, not giving a fuck. I don't blame him for that. But, you know, to have Titus come out there and say, we're not here to talk about politics or religion. You know, you could come in whatever race or economic status, and, you know, You're saying on Monday and everything, this is a safe haven for everybody. And I'm like this is a very interesting way to kick off Raw. So what's y'all take on that?
I mean, I was very confused. It made no sense to me whatsoever. And then to me, why Titus or Neal? What couldn't it be somebody that is in the talent roster right now? Somebody that we see every week. It would have made a little more sense. But Titus or Neal, who you see that once every blue moon come out or even have some type of match, to come out and do some type of speech like that, it sounded like there was a big topic, something happened backstage, like a travesty or something, and he came out and said something like that just to kind of smooth things out with everybody, different regions, ethnic backgrounds, political, whatever. It just didn't make any sense. That's something that you could do on a post. Us here at WWE, and then whatever he said, you put that on a post. We're WWE, and then you put the Pride Month flag next to it or something, because it was last month. But to come out at the beginning of a show and say something like that, especially Titus or Neal, to me made no sense, and I was confused by the whole thing.
Yeah, I was, man, piggyback on what he just said. Yes, I was totally confused what my brother told me because I had missed that. I had missed that segment. I was on my way, still coming home from work. I had just walked in. My brother was like, Titus O'Neil was out. Like Titus O'Neil was out. I was so shocked and surprised. I was kind of happy to hear that Titus was out because Titus is a good dude. So I'm like, man, oh, Titus was out, man. That's what's up. He was talking about, me and my brother was like, man, he was just talking about, so, man, no matter what you are or who you are, you are going to be accepted. And so I'm like, what? What this mean? What does this mean? No matter who we are, what we do, what? He's like, oh, you got to see for yourself. So I rewinded. And I see it. I'm looking like, and at the end of the thing, my face was just sealed. A sealed face, like, what was that? Why did he say that? Then I had some time thinking about what's going on. I'm like, why did they do that? Because see, here's the thing. If you don't want it to be a distraction, don't make it a distraction. When you make weird stuff like that, when you do weird stuff like that, people look at it as a what is this? And then it make their mind wonder and start thinking about all the allegations. Oh, it must be about that. You took me way out of the wrestling show. Because when I watch it Raw, I ain't thinking about that. I ain't thinking about that. But every time this came out, it made me think about it. And then Titus O'Neil coming out, it made me think about it. So if you don't want things to be a distraction, don't make it a distraction. Don't keep on doing it in my face. Because that's basically what you're doing. Oh man, Vince McMahon had that allegation. Oh, I don't care. Give me wrestling. Where's the wrestling? Then they start the open the show promo. Then I think to myself, that wasn't the open the show promo. We got his speech that took 15 minutes. Then we had Becky and Bianca and Carmella took at least 30 minutes. We didn't get any wrestling until 7:45 that night.
Damn.
I'm swearing to you. I don't know what they were doing. I was like, man, bro.
I may have to go back and check that.
It probably, if I'm, all right, I'm going to give you 7:30 to 7:45. In between those two times, we didn't get no wrestling until those two times, bro. I promise you, man, Titus O'Neil promo took a while. He just had the spotlight on his, he had the spotlight on his face. And you could tell that man was uncomfortable. He was uncomfortable, man. You could tell in his face he was trying his best, but he even thought to himself, wow, why they put me in the midst of this BS? Because I'm the global ambassador. I'm a good dude that, people look at as oh man, Titus a good person, man. So whatever Titus says, man, we're gonna go buy it. But we know you didn't say that, Titus. We know for a fact you didn't say this. we know it was Stephanie or Vince. Mostly Vince.
Yeah, that was a PR. I feel that was a PR segment. They were just trying to put on like, we have goodwill. This is a goodwill thing. We're a safe haven. Come to us. This is the WWE. We put smiles on faces. You know, we are all great people. Join us.
Right, join us.
Join us. All are welcome. Join us. Join us. All are welcome.
I couldn't believe it.
We're all welcome. Please come to us and whatnot. We are the WWE, okay? This is a great place you want to be at.
I want to ask this question. What was more weird? Vince just coming out those two Fridays back to back.
Oh yeah, Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Mondays, yeah. Or the Titus O'Neal thing that happened this past Monday. Because to me, even though Titus promo came out of nowhere, but Vince coming out for no apparent reason at all blew me. Like, why? I haven't seen you in months. In months.
Well, WrestleMania.
Right, that's what I said, in months. And you come out now with this whole situation happen, Vince, you don't think that looked like a little weird to you? But here's the thing, that's a weird dude, you know?
Yeah, Vince ain't a normal guy. He's a different breed. And let's remember, they said after that SmackDown the first time, they said he was like, fuck him, you know, the Washington Journal, which in a way I don't blame him. At least he wasn't like, taking it, going down. It's like, nah, I'm gonna fight back. Like, nah, fuck this. Like, he came out and basically say, I'm like, fuck y'all niggas. I'm still that dude. Like, I don't blame him for that. I thought it was funny. I'm like, because at first, like, well, he didn't really say anything. But then I think I was more surprised he showed up on Raw. Like SmackDown, yeah. I'm like, okay, this is surprising. But then I didn't think he was going to do it 2 times, though. And just come out, you know, hey, WWE, John Cena will be here next week, you know. This is basically saying, Vince, you know, fuck y'all. I'm still here. I'm not going to give y'all the reaction y'all want me to give y'all and whatnot. Because everybody was, during the time, everybody on Twitter, like, Vince should better step down. I'm not going to watch. You people better not watch SmackDown or you're a bad person if you watch Smack. I was reading that, like, some of these people were just going off their rocker. Like, if you watch the WWE tonight, you're a horrible person and whatnot. I'm like, dude, fuck you. I'm going to watch and see what happens, okay? Like, whatever. Like, you know, I see, like, hey, AEW's better and whatnot and stuff. So I think, you know, Vince wasn't going to, you know, sell it. And, like, I'm not going to give y'all the reaction y'all want me to give y'all. I'm going to come fight this stuff. Fuck y'all. Like, I'm like, well, at least he ain't, you know, backing down and, you know, taking it. It's like nah, I'm still the man around here. I'm still running stuff. Like, you're gonna have to take me down, kicking, fighting, and screaming and whatnot if that's gonna be the case. So I give Vince one thing, like, you know, he's a fighter and everything. Like, I know he had to step down now, but you know, he's still gonna fight against the you know, until this whole investigation thing, whenever that will be over and whatnot. I think he's still gonna, you know, like I said, you know, if he'll gloat about it, you know, whenever the end of that whole investigation thing will be at. And, you know, I like this too. You know, it's just kind of funny, even the reaction of Vince, you know, quote unquote retiring yesterday. Like everybody like just kind of look online and just see everybody was like, the company is saved. This is the greatest day in WWE history and whatnot. And you saw Tony Khan wanted to chime in on it. Now, I'm the longest tenured CEO in wrestling. I'm like, couldn't help yourself, could you there? And whatnot, because I just saw everybody was like, yes, the WWE will be much better now. We are saved. This is like there's always someone saying praying on this man's downfall.
Yeah, I got a question about that. Like, what did you guys think about Tony? No, I got a question to you guys. Like, what do you guys think that tweet by Tony Khan? I mean, I found it like it made no sense to me. Like, why would you tweet something like that? Like, what's the point? Like, what are you trying to get at? That made no sense whatsoever.
I was telling Bryce yesterday when he had texted me that I looked at it as you can't ignore that, man. He over here tweeted goofy goofiness right now, man. Like nobody don't. I wouldn't even waste my time burying him for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whatever, Tony. Man, that I swear, if it was like if I was thinking about it, I would have left that tweet unliked, unretweeted, none of that, to just let them know, like, man, dude, man, you a goofy for that. Like, come on, man, like, move around with that. But ain't this something though? He made that tweet just 3 days after saying, man, WWE is the biggest company in the world. We just the biggest competition. Did he not say that like 3 days ago? And
Yeah,
then you want to make a funny like this, like, oh, ha ha ha, I'm the longest tenured CEO. Okay, Tony, whatever. You know, worry about Rampage ratings going down every day a week. All right, worry about that. All right, don't worry about what's going on in WWE, man. For real, the Rampage, nobody even watches that no more. You know.
like either they catch it on record or probably watch on the internet the next day. Cause like I don't even paying the Rampage a lot. Have pay much attention to Rampage a lot nowadays, unless it's live or whatnot. But yeah, him, Tony Khan, I feel like he wanted some attention. Like this is him on Twitter, so we see him say enough goofy shit on the internet. That's why I know a lot of people say that he makes it very hard to like him sometimes. It's like you're not that dude, okay? Like now I'm the longest tenured. Like even I was like, I don't think he could help. He couldn't help himself. He's like he had to do something, and I just think like even the people that on Twitter that kind of reacted to him, and he did get buried, but it was funny. They was like, Tony has won. AEW has won. The Booker. I'm like, what won what? What did you all win? What? We beat them. I'm like, the WWE still standing. We beat Vince. I feel like a lot of fans want to feel that they beat Vince because of the whole like, he's not in charge, so we won. You didn't win shit. What the fuck did you win?
Hey, I want to say this right quick, Bryce. Hey,
Go ahead.
I want both of y'all to hear this. He created those type of fan base. He created that type of fan base. Do you hear how he talk? Do y'all remember when he would talk, going crazy about the Friday night supposedly Friday night war? He create these type of fan base, man, because the fans are reflective of him. I swear to y'all, man. And like you just said, Bryce, it make it very hard for me to like the company sometimes. I be just sitting there sometimes. I be liking some of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like it, when I see Bryan Danielson and CM Punk and, you know what I'm saying, MJF and Warlord, and I be liking some of the other, the undercard guys and stuff, the mid-card guys and stuff. I be liking some of them too. But it seems like I can't criticize it. I can't criticize the other stuff without being called out or being somebody coming at me. Oh man, you a WWE lover. You a WWE lover. I'm like, first of all, I'm just a huge fan of wrestling because I also watch Impact. You know what I'm saying? That put that out there. But at the same time, it seems like it's easier to criticize WWE because they fans ain't gonna really attack you like that. They like, all right, cool, I do agree with you. But with AEW, it seems like they can't agree with me. It's like, I'll be like, man, that John Moxley match didn't need no blood. Man, what you talking about? Man, that make the match even better. When you want to go, if you don't want no blood, go back to WWE. Like, why I can't just criticize it? And it's him. It's because of Tony Khan. Go back to any type of his press conference, and if somebody even slightly want to criticize anything, he blows up. He blows up. He get mad. He throws a tantrum. It's like, and that's how his fan base act.
Yeah, because even I'll say, even right now with this whole thing, I would say it's the battle between, and I've seen this word online, the battle between I can see online right now. It's all tribalism at the end of the day, especially because I just look at these guys interact with each other. It's like, oh, it's an E-drone. Oh, it's another AEW cultist and whatnot. So it's a battle between that. But yeah, but you are right about the those media scrum things with Tony. It's like, yeah, like the stuff he be saying sometime, I just be looking at him like what is this guy on? Like, I'm sure the whole Coke thing is gonna be said and whatnot. So I would say it's Adderall, but I don't know, because even I be looking at him, I'm like, what is this guy going on about? Like, what Friday Night War? Like, you mean that one time y'all went against SmackDown that was like 2 hours and 30 minutes, like, and the 30-minute mark part of like the last 30 minutes of like y'all act like y'all win at the same time as them. Like, that didn't happen. Like, even I was like, what did you win? Like, what Friday Night War? Like, I sat there looking at that one time, like, I was just confused by that. But I kind of felt like with the whole tweet thing, I felt like he just kind of wanted, in a way, he kind of wanted a reaction in a way and whatnot. Because I'm like, was this needed? Because like I said, you can just kind of blow it off and not care. But I saw a lot of people, bury him and whatnot. It's like, how people buried what's her name a few weeks ago. What's her name? Jordan Grace there over the whole, Benoit. Kurt Angle thing and whatnot, and she already made herself look like a dumbass for that anyway. So that burial was well deserved. But like I said, you could just kind of look at it like that way. It's like just attention seeking and whatnot. And I'll say this too, because I know he's a non-factor, and I know mostly everybody on the internet and wrestling don't give a shit about him. It would not surprise me that old Cryback there, he probably said something already, but I haven't looked that up. He's a clout chaser. Like you just gotta ignore Ryback. Like he's like I say, he's looking for attention. He's for the streets. He belongs to the streets. There's a reason why nobody ain't hiring him, because like I'm sure he's jumping for joy that Vince stepped down. But then like it's Ryback, and they're like, come on, nobody don't want Ryback at any company right now. So I'm surprised he hasn't. He probably has said something, but I just didn't look it up. But like he's one guy that's looking for attention if he says something. But of either people were jumping for joy, or they just they're pretty sad about it. But when I just saw, like everybody said, was people saying like we won, like what exactly did you win? What was won here? Like, we beat Vince. No, you didn't. And what? Company's still here.
Right,
still doing stuff on
running.
TV. He's just not running the show right now. That's the thing. And it's like I said, they had to have and like I say, you still got a McMahon in charge at the end of the day. Like, if this was somebody else, then that'd be different. Because I think somebody told me yesterday, if it wasn't McMahon running right now, it'd be like, how WCW end up stopping, because once Ted Turner he wasn't in charge no more, and the whole AOL Time Warner merger, look what happened to WCW then, and why it folded and whatnot. Because they were going to listen to Ted, because he was the one that was the the big cheese and whatnot. Once it was somebody else, WCW didn't last that long. Don't get me wrong, WCW failed in many other ways too, but that was like one of those near nail in the coffin type of thing. So like when you think about it, like they really, like WWE, they have a McMahon in charge, so that's why they still got all their everything still running and whatnot, and that's why Steph's in charge. Like, it's still Vince's company at the end of the day. He may not be in charge, but he still owns it. Like they said, majority shares. He still owns it. It's not like he sold the fucking company to anybody else. It's still in his name, so it's his shit at the end of the day. So there you go. I'm trying to see if there's anything else to be said out of all this. I think we may have covered every topic I can think of out of this whole situation.
The most important topic we covered, that's Uncle Vince. So
yeah, because I think we've covered mostly everything, just from the whole thing, and where it leads next. I don't know. Like I said, we've all had different opinions on the whole thing, so
I don't even think it was all different though, Bryce.
We'll see if Raw or SmackDown changes, or NXT, because I'm already seeing people saying like, if Triple H is here, maybe we can get that black and gold back now. In a perfect world. Because trust me, I didn't know. I'll just say this. I know everybody sees different things on NXT 2.0, but I told Jorge here Jorge here in the past, like a lot of people I know, they backed out of NXT.
I
So
love the new NXT. So I'll be the first one to admit I love the new NXT 2.0. So
I like parts of it. Don't get me wrong. I do. I do like some of the guys that they're like. It took me a while to get used to Mello and Trick. It took me a while. Bryce
yeah,
can tell you did. I'm telling you, bro. It took me a while to get used to them. Now I saw really coming around to them. Um, the women division outside of Toxic Attraction, it looked pretty solid to me. You
most
know,
definitely.
yep,
it looked pretty solid. I really I can pick holes in it, but that's just me being nitpicky. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to do that. So outside of Toxic Attraction, and I wouldn't even say outside of Toxic Attraction. I would just say outside of Mandy Rose. I really say the women division over there, NXT 2.0, is very solid. So
yes,
I don't see. They have some hiccups, in the beginning. Of course you're gonna have some hiccups like introducing brand new people into the screen. Of course you're gonna have some hiccups, but I really think they did a solid job. That they doing a solid job of just basically giving us a developmental show
yep,
on budget. They look like basically how if it was OVW wrestling, you know what I'm saying, on TV, or FCW wrestling on TV. It basically that. So I really think this was what the real vision was. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think the real vision was really to pluck away a lot of indie stars. I just think there was a lot of people that bring in a lot of people that people don't know or never seen or don't and haven't seen out there like that. So I think the real vision is really happening now. It looked like FCW or OBW to me. A lot of guys who being trained for the main roster.
Yeah, especially Breaker, who they believe is the next big thing. I saw people think Braun Breaker was gonna face Roman at SummerSlam. I already saw people saying that yesterday.
No,
if
here's
that,
the thing, they messed up with. Oh my bad, Jorge.
if
My bad.
no, I was gonna say no, I was gonna say if that happens, there you see the change of vision already starting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do y'all think that they should have just threw this man into the main roster already? Like, to be perfectly honest, I think he done. I think he did whatever all that he needs to do with NXT 2.0. I think he done, and he needs to go ahead and just move up.
Um, yeah, in a way, yeah. I still think, like I say, he's not bad. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but no, we talked about Braun Breaker before, Kyle. It's almost like he was damn near getting a Roman push out there because they want this guy to be like the next big thing around here and whatnot. And even we've seen it kind of up and down lately and stuff because we were talking about the other night. Hey, they're cheering him for being a meathead out there.
Because
Uh,
that's the only chance that he would really get it on Tuesday. Yeah, when he came out, it was like, yeah. You know, then when he started talking about, man, if you do rip my shoulder off, I'll take it from you and still beat you with it. And then everybody,
yes,
yeah. I'm like, he being cheered for sounding stupid. That's what he is.
I damn near want to call him Scott, just Scott out there half the time, and I'm like
Mm-hmm.
Steiner
He sound
2.0.
like
yeah.
Scott Steiner. Yes, he did.
Like I'm sorry,
But you,
just sounds so much like Scott.
you guys mentioned Trick Williams, man. Trick Williams, whew, that
He could
that
talk.
that dude, if that dude could talk, that dude could wrestle. I mean, if he gets the call, like surprising something after SummerSlam and things start changing, and he shows up there, man, that dude's gonna surprise a lot of people, man. Trick Williams.
True.
It's a lot of people that it's a couple of people that really that need to be looked at as a person on their own, and and I could go to the Street Profit. You know what I'm saying? Even the prophets, I really think it's like they did a lot together, and you can keep them as a team. But if you want to see Montez in his true form, I think he needs to split, and I think so because he got the gift of gab. You know what I'm saying? He can talk, he can wrestle, he got the athleticism, he got the look. What do you want? What more do you want? He got it all. And so yeah,
Exactly.
because when you mentioned Trick, that's what made me think about Montez being on his own. Like, well, if you mention Trick, I say Montez needs to be on his own too. But man, I just think 2.0 is a great place for all these guys to get that main roster feel because you still on live national TV. You on live national TV on USA on prime time. So you're gonna have that feel of people watching you. Not as many, but you're gonna have that feel. So when you get to the main roster, it ain't no slip ups or no jittery about you. You can get that old bugs out your stomach because you already had that feel at NXT 2.0 being on national TV anyway.
That's true. Because, we talked about this in the past about NXT, especially in differences right now with a lot of people. And I feel like it's may change again now, especially now with Triple H getting some power back. Because let's remember when they said they stopped hiring a lot of, independent guys and all that stuff, they basically hired a lot of, athletes that probably never wrestled a day in their life before and whatnot. And that's what they were hiring at the time. Because now a lot of people say that. Well, they actually have characters now and whatnot. I'm not saying all of them are good and everything, but that they have done that a lot. Because, someone will make the argument, and I don't know how true this is, but they said Triple H did not create stars when the black and gold era was around. And I kind of do call bullshit on that.
Because here's the thing.
It's true, though.
Because... oh, go ahead.
That's just true. I mean, when he was black and gold, who are you going to make? All of them were stars somewhere else. Ring of Honor, Impact. So if they come to the black and gold, they're already stars somewhere else. So no, he can't make no stars if they're already stars in other companies.
I like when you look at it like from a certain view, I think he made more women stars than he did men stars. You know what I'm saying? And he made like people like Charlotte, Sasha, Bianca. So I think he made a lot of women stars, but not too many men because everybody know most of the guys who already had came for the NXT already. You know what I'm saying? The black and gold. You knew Finn Balor. You knew Drew McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? You knew Bobby Roode. You knew a lot of these guys already. You know what I'm saying? So
the Undisputed Era.
Right, you knew them already. You knew Adam Cole. You knew Red Dragon. You knew them already. You knew Roddy already. You knew these guys. I think most of the guys most of the people that he made, like I said, was the women. You know what I'm saying? The 4 horsewomen, Bianca, Shayna. He made those guys, but I wouldn't say he made the independent guys that already would made their name already. All they did with Ricochet, all they did was take the mask off of Total to wrestle the same way you did in Lucha Underground.
Same with Andrade. Andrade had a mask. Andrade was La Sombra.
Mask off and wrestle the same way you did.
Yeah, that's true about Ricochet. Like I said, you could say that about Andrade. Andrade was La Sombra before he got to NXT and whatnot, and they told him to take off the mask, even though in the beginning they kind of made him look like a damn Chippendales dancer out there wearing suspenders and everything.
Hat too. Did he have a hat too?
Oh, yeah, the little fedora. Yeah, he had a fedora hat on.
Yeah, they did. I remember those days. I remember those days.
It got better once they put him with Zelina Vega and everything, and that's when it worked and whatnot. So that's when it was really working once they added her, to be the manager and whatnot. Because in the beginning, it was literally not working at first when he got there and stuff. But like you say, he was a star in Mexico and everything, Los Ingobernables and whatnot. So, like I said, with a lot of people in the black and gold, they did come from a different company, from somewhere and whatnot. They just, it was like it was all mixed together from, like I said, from ROH, Impact, NJPW, a lot of people. Because come on, they had Kushida, they had Shinsuke Nakamura, they had Kenta, with Hideo Itami at the time and whatnot. They were all either from Noah or NJPW and stuff. So like, it was a lot of people from different companies or the indies. Keith Lee. Shit, it's a whole bunch of list of names we could go on through. That were there, like Matt Riddle. Well, it's working great for Matt Riddle right now, but
Oh, yes, it is.
like it's working wonders for him. Definitely and whatnot. So, like I said, it's a lot you can name that came from some other company or the indies and whatnot and stuff. Like I said, I know not a lot of them they're mostly gone at this point because, like, shit, I don't even know who's still black and gold in regular NXT right now. And if they were, they've already been moved up to the main roster, like Ciampa, which I don't even want to go into that right now with the Miz.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, and Eli Drake, LA Knight, or whatever the fuck we calling him right now, Max Dupree and whatnot. I'm trying to see if he can make this work because they added that. Who did they just add last night from SmackDown with her?
Supposedly his sister Maxine Dupree.
Yeah, wasn't she like Sophia Cromwell? I believe.
Yeah. Down in NXT.
And that's what I was telling you. Well, that's what I was telling you, Bryce, last week. Man, you were thinking like, man, who was gonna be? And I was like, it's gonna be somebody for NXT. That we probably never really paid attention to or really never really had really seen like that. We seen it before. Like I told my brother last night. I seen it before, but I wasn't really paying no attention to her. You know what I'm saying? She was that girl that was with Robert E. The Robert Soon brand.
Yep.
And Von Wagner. She was a background girl for me because she talked, but I ain't really pay no attention to her like that. Like until I seen her yesterday, I'm like, I seen her before. And my brother was like, oh, that's her. That's the old girl from Robert Soul. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay then. All right. So I kind of figured they was just gonna grab some girl from over there, NXT or NXT level up. Somebody who just needs to be pushed up.
Yeah, just because. So I'm not like, okay, I figured they're gonna get somebody. I will say at first, I heard they said it was gonna be somebody from the UK. I think her name is Jenny. Because they said like that's Walter's. I mean that's his wife right now, Jenny. She's from the NXT UK show.
Yeah.
A lot of people. It was rumored she was gonna be the one. For that gimmick and whatnot last night, but I guess they didn't end up going with it. So they ended up going with Cromwell and everything. But other than that, my last other question. I know we talked about booking. I'm not trying to reiterate, but if booking is going to change, like with a lot of current guys booking within the company right now. We saw how Vince was very behind. Still, it's still playing on TV because they got Austin Theory, feuding with damn near everybody on there. It looks like. So, do you think like the booking will change for some people, especially if they were getting pushed high by Vince and everything? Do you think it'll be changed drastic, or would their plan still be the same?
We'll find out after SummerSlam.
I would say this: the booking. When it comes down to the bigger guys, I think they're going to get the less time that they had before. You gonna probably see less of Omos, a little bit more as the year goes on, as 2022, my bad, y'all, goes on. We probably gonna see less of Omos. We're probably not gonna see less of Theory. Here's the thing. If you would have told me that if he would get it the same push before the his character development, I would have told you, yeah, we probably going to see less of him. But Theory actually getting some character behind him and character development, so I think he actually going to stay longer, and he actually going to be one of those guys who going to be the future of the business. Very soon. Him really boss. So I wouldn't say those big guys. They gonna end up staying. But the other big guys who could have worked any day, you gonna see less of that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see less of people like Omar and or the great Khalid coming in. You ain't gonna see too many of those coming in. But yeah, I could say mostly a lot of people booking is going to change. I can say that much.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, other than that though, yeah, we basically discussed everything we can within this whole news in the past 24 hours with this whole Vince McMahon, quote unquote retirement thing, and what will change and what it's gonna. I don't know what anything, if any other news and whatnot. So news can change about a minute every time. So we don't know what can happen next. But we've discussed everything. We could cover and whatnot. So you guys got any other final thoughts on this whole thing?
No, I said
Nah.
it.
We'll find out after. Yeah, we'll find out after SummerSlam, brother.
Most
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely after SummerSlam. We'll see if that TV14 comes in also, if that is the case. So we just gotta wait and see what happens then, basically. But other than that, do you guys have anything to plug?
Mm.
Nah, no plugs. Yeah, other than that, yeah, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Like I said, like this video. Check it out. I already said comment. Feel free to discuss anything, any of your thoughts, or where you think the company is going to lead to right now, or whatever could change. We don't know what can happen next. So, other than that, I am out of here with my co-host for today for this video. We had to talk about this topic because it's very important that we got to this. So yeah, so we're out of here. See y'all later, and peace out.